and welcome to Mind Body Zen. As always, thank you for joining me on this journey into the unknown. In today's episode, I wanted to talk about avoidance. Now, what I'm talking about when I say avoidance is the way in which we, without realizing it, can often avoid our feelings, negative feelings specifically. When sadness wells up in us, or anger, or maybe an embarrassing memory while we're laying in bed late at night, it's very common for people to want to distract themselves. Maybe you turn the TV on, or maybe you jump on your phone and start scrolling. Whatever it is you do, you try to avoid or run away from negative feelings. Now, as I'm sure we're all aware, avoiding things doesn't mean that they go away. In fact, they tend to bottle up and get worse. So when you suppress that sad emotion, it only builds up and gets worse. When you suppress angry emotions, they only become more toxic the longer they're in your system. When you suppress or avoid embarrassing memories, they don't go away, they don't get deleted. Now, obviously, we can't control what thoughts come and go, right? What memories cycle in and out of our minds throughout the day. And sometimes we can't really control what emotions suddenly spike up in us. What we can control, or at least what we can learn to control, is our reaction and our ability to sit with those things. Because in order for us to understand and heal those emotions, we need to know what's causing them and where they're coming from. So the next time sadness wells up, or you can feel it kind of keeping you down, rather than running to a task or running to your phone or running to whatever to try and distract yourself, just stop, take a breath, and sit with that feeling. It's going to be challenging, absolutely, but it's going to be ultimately very rewarding because you can cycle through what's going on. It's just you. No one else is going to be there to judge you or critique you, and it's important that you don't do that to yourself. If you find that anger is sitting in you, redirecting your emotions, maybe controlling your day, take a breath, take a pause. Why am I angry? What's causing it? Where is this anger coming from? And only through these steps can we ultimately relinquish those feelings that tend to control us and manipulate us. If an embarrassing memory occurs, experience it. The more we understand something, the less we're afraid of it, the less it can control us. So whatever it is that you're experiencing, practice mindfulness. Be with the moment, be with the feeling. Don't avoid it. Take a breath, sit with it. Allow yourself to live in that feeling. Because as we've already said, the longer you avoid them, the bigger they get. And so many of us are constantly running away from how we feel, trying to get to the next good feeling, which is just not an honest way to live. Life is about finding a neutral, not about being happy all the time, because that's impossible. We're all people. Things are going on around us all the time that are out of our control. It's important that we try to maintain a neutral as much as we can and appreciate good feelings when they occur. Be grateful for good feelings. And eventually we'll learn to be grateful for negative feelings, because just like failure, you learn a lot from them. Now this week, I would like to give you a little bit of homework. Nothing too heavy, but just a little tool to help you strengthen your mindfulness muscle. Throughout the week, as much as you can, it's hard to notice every time, but I want you to take note of every time that you experience a negative emotion, sadness, frustration, whatever it is, anything that makes you feel not great, just notice it. Don't judge it. Don't try to manipulate it or change it in any way. Try to understand it. And as you go through the week, I hope you notice just how often these kinds of feelings arise and how often they don't even seem that justified. And yet somehow we're constantly letting those emotions, justified or not, control us and our actions. And hopefully by the end of the week, we're less reactionary and we've been able to kind of get through some of those feelings that reoccur in our days. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the following meditation.